Hey, Chester, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and get all the way out of my forest. Go ahead and get all the way out of my forest with your flaming hot Cheeto farts. Hey, I'm 20 Insanity, and today I'd like to just go ahead and say happy birthday to Smokey Bear. Boop! 2 years ago, I opened this Funko Pop. And, today we're opening the other one, because they made two. They made two and only two. Well, no, there's a flocked one. I don't want the flocked one. It's just that one. Maybe they did both of them flocked. I hate flocked figures. But August 9th, 1944 was the birth of Smokey Bear for the U.S. Forest Service and the Cooperative Forest Fire Prevention Program. So today he is 78. I've always had a lot of respect for Smokey Bear. Only you can prevent wildfires. In 2001, because it used to be only you can prevent forest fires. 2001, they changed it to only you can prevent wildfires. Now, if anyone at Funko had an eye for detail, an eye for aesthetic display ability, they would have put one of these would have the object in the opposite hand. For symmetric display ability, I don't know. Why am I the only one that thinks of this stuff? And the only argument could possibly be, well, Smokey Bear and all his advertising over the last 78 years and all his product merchandising and such. He only holds the stuff in the left hand. No. Funko themselves a decade earlier put the stuff in the Wacky Wobbler in the right hand. These should be balanced and symmetrical. It would be awesome. But when I opened that one in 2020, we set the box on fire with a magnifying glass. We are definitely not going to do that today, because fire is so dangerous. Look at that. Look how easy that was. Think about how hot it is here. Golly. But I want to tell you a little bit about my history with Smokey the Bear. Because I grew up, he was on TV all the time, just pointing at you, like Uncle Sam. Because the famous 1944 poster of him pointing at you is a parody of the 1917 Uncle Sam poster, which itself is a parody of the 1915 British Join the Army poster, which I think they call the Lord Kitchener image. I don't know, but ever since I was 5 years old, I've been fascinated by parody. I like Smokey Bear. I think he's my favorite charismatic mega bear. Because he has a positive message, doesn't he? Oh, but the thing was, then, when I was like 20, I started doing road trips. I've been to every state, and I've been to every national park in the lower 48 states. And, when you're driving to the national parks, you go through the national forests, and you see Smokey Bear everywhere. There's literally signs with him along the road telling you the dangers of fire. And then you go to the, the visitor centers, and there's Smokey the Bear telling you the dangers of fires. I don't know if kids today are familiar with Smokey Bear. I don't really know how they would be. And anyway, in the 50s, they found a little bear in New Mexico, and they brought it to the National Zoo in Washington, D.C., and they named it Smokey, and they gave him a wife named Goldie, hoping they would mate, and they did not. Then they gave him a little adopted bear named Smokey Jr., and it was a big deal for Americans in the 50s and 60s to be able to go see Smokey Bear in person at the National Zoo in Washington, D.C. That is crazy. Golly. Anyway, ruin the tablecloth. Another forest fire prevented by 20 Insanity. Fire insanity. But what else? So when I was a kid, I think I've told you this before. I didn't collect toys. I didn't have toys as a kid, but I collected stamps. And one of my favorite stamps was a stamp of Smokey Bear that came out in 1984, which was, I don't know, I guess his 40th year. So we're coming up on his 80th year. I wonder if there'll be Any cool events, cool merch? Will they finally do a third one? Will they finally start putting stuff in his other hand? I don't know. Funko might be bankrupt by 2024. They sure have made some dumb decisions the last year or two. But yeah, so I grew up seeing the posters, seeing the ads on TV, seeing him in the parks and forests, and yeah, I just like him. I respect him. When this channel finally blows up, I'm gonna take the profits. I'm gonna take the shekels from Susan. And I'm gonna collect more Smokey Bear stuff. If you got any Smokey Bear stuff, like that Wacky Wobbler or any of the other figurines and bobbleheads, I think Royal Bobbles made a bobblehead for him. You know, send him my way because I like him and I respect him.